Hello everyone. This is our second lesson of quadratic equations, and today we will solve quadratic equations by completing the square. So let's start with learning about the square, that what does this mean and how we will convert a quadratic equation into a complete square. So here, let's see that we do have two terms, a plus b, and we take their square. The answer for this, if we expand these brackets, will be a square plus 2 times the product of these two terms, a and b, then plus b square. So this means if we do have x square plus 2 times x y plus y square, so this means we will have x plus y square. So we have the square of a term x, we have a square of a term y, and then we have 2 times the product of these two terms. So this means this is a plus y square. So now, if for example, we have x square plus 2 times x y. So this algebraic expression has only two terms, and we can also write it in the form of a square that can be x plus y square. What? This square cannot be equal to this left hand side because it consists of only first two terms. So it means if I write here negative y square, so now both left and right sides are equal to each other. So this you can also understand in another way, that for example, that in our left on the side of the left hand side, we were missing the plus y square term. Now, if I add this y square term on both sides, you can see that this is negative y square and plus y square. They are gone to 0, and this left hand side is the square, which is x plus y square. So now, if for example, we do have x square plus 6xy. So now this actually tells us that these two terms can also be converted into a square if we do have that this second term is 2 times the product of two terms, and that both terms must have the square. This x has already the square, so it means that this 6 can be written as 2 times x times 3y. So it means if we will have here 3y and its square, then this actually, the expression is simply the x plus 3y square. So then what we can do, we can simply write this kind of quadratic expression, x square plus 6xy equal to x and half of this number with the sign that what we have here, positive 3, and the second term, that is y, will go with it, then 3y square. Then to equate these both terms, as we actually tried here in our this yellow equation, that we need to take away the square of the second term, which is 3y square. So you can say that actually this negative 3y square to equate both sides of this equation. So now what we have done, we have converted these two terms in the form of a square, and then we have also compensated to make both sides equal to each other. Now we can move towards another equation, an algebraic expression. First of all, that for example, we do have x square plus 8x plus 2. So this is now our expression, and it has three terms. When we need to complete a square, we will only look at first two terms, the quadratic term and the linear term in terms of the variable x. So if we understand our previous methodology, we can see that this is a x square plus 8x. So this we can simply write it as a x plus half of 8 is 4 and its square minus 4 square to compensate as we understood here. So then plus 2 was already there. Now this algebraic expression has converted into x plus 4 square minus 16 plus 2 and then simply x plus 4 its square minus 14. So now we have actually converted our quadratic expression in the form of a square. What is the advantage of converting a quadratic equation into square, and how we can solve a quadratic equation using this technique? Let's try few questions for that. And before trying the equation in the form of, you can say, the equations to solve, to find the roots of the quadratic equation, yeah, we can also understand completing square with the help of this diagram. So for example, we do have a rectangle and its width is x and its length is x plus b. So the square of this rectangle will be x times x plus b. So if we do have a x times x plus b and we open the brackets, answer will be x square plus bx. Now what we can do, we can convert this rectangle into a square. How? Let's divide this length b into two equal parts. So each will be half of the b. Okay. Now we take this second part and place it along the length. Then you can see that this actually the length of the width b half will be x. So it will cover over here. So now you see the square is not completed. We actually need this part as well. So now this part, if we add here this part, then we are a complete square. So what does this mean? This means that here b minus 2 square, sorry, b half square, we actually added it to complete it in the form of a complete square. So it means x plus b over 2 square actually have this additional term. So that's why if we take it away, then our actually answer will be the initial rectangle and its a square. That will be exactly this term over here. So in this way, you can also understand that why we need to take away also this half of the b and its square. So now you can see x square plus bx can be written as x plus half of the b its square minus half of the b square. So this b, which is a constant with the x, just take its half and complete the square and compensate this square as well. So now let's go to the exercise and try few questions over here. Our first exercise, it is actually about algebraic expressions. So we solve a few algebraic expressions as well. And we will do this very quickly. Then we will go toward the equations. We can also convert them into equations as well. For an example, we have our first question, which is 1a, and it is x square plus 4x. Now you can see we have two terms here in this algebraic expression, x square term and 4x term. So here we can very easily now convert it into square. That must be x plus this half of other than the x, which is only 4, that will be 2. So x plus 2 square minus 2 square, which is 4. So now if we presume that this was an equation and it was equal to 0, this is equal to 0, now we can solve its roots, meaning we can get the solutions. How? Here we do have x plus 2, its square, that will be equal to this negative 4. On the other side of equation will be positive 4. Now to remove this square, we take the square root of both sides. Then we will get this answer, that x plus 2 is equal to the square root of 4 should be plus or minus 2. So this means we have two roots. X is equal to positive 2, and this positive 2 on left side, on the right side it will be negative 2, or we have x is equal to negative 2, negative 2. So this means this x is equal to 0 and this x is equal to negative 4. So we have two roots, 0 and negative 4. So now we can try one more question. For example, we have 1c. If we do have 1c, then we can see we have x square minus 16x. So this x square is the square of x, and minus 16x, it is actually a linear term in this expression. So we can write it in the form of a square, that will be x. Here we have a negative sign, that we will keep negative, half of other than x, meaning that 16x, so half of 16 is 8, x minus 8 square. Now to compensate, negative 8 square. So this compensating term is always negative. Either we have here positive or negative, so that will be always negative, because in square, this second term square is always the square. Okay, now here what we do have, we have this x minus 8 square minus 8 square. Now let's convert also into an equation. Then we will find its roots equal to 0, equal to 0. So here we have x minus 8 square, that must be equal to 8 square, which is 64. So now by taking square root, we have x minus 8, that must be equal to plus minus 8. So again, we will have two roots. with the positive 8, and this 8 is going to be positive 8 on the other side, and the second root will be x is equal to negative 8, positive 8. So here we have a 0, and here we have 16. So these two roots are there. So these expressions are very simple expressions because we do have here only the x square. We have a x square. To convert them into squares is rather easy, not complicated. So let's also try to understand that if we do have some coefficient of the x square term as well, so then what can we do? So there can be different methodologies, but we will try to use easiest one. For example, we have a question 2a. In question 2a, we have 2x square plus 16x. Now, here we have a 2x square. This 2 is not a square number. So, in this case, what we can do, we can say this 2 is a common factor among these two terms. Then we will have our x square plus 8x like this. So this 2 is a common factor for both of these terms. Now we can write it as this 2 is here, and then inside these two brackets, we have two terms, x square plus 8x, and now we will do exactly the same that we did for x square minus 16x. That also actually was x plus 8 square. Now, x plus 8x, so it means x plus 4 square minus 4 square. So our this expression has been solved. So we can also remove these brackets. So we can write it 2 times x plus 4, its square, minus 4 square 16. 16 times 2 is 32. Now this is our actually the answer. Now, if we convert it into an equation with equal sign and goes to 0, so equal to 0, equal to 0, equal to 0. Now, you can see what we would get, that this term 2 times x plus 4 square, negative 32, that will move to the other side of the equation and it will turn into positive 32. Now, 2 is multiplying with x plus 4 square, so we will divide this equation by 2 and we left with x plus 4 square is equal to half of 32 is 16. Now we are going to take the square root to remove the square. So we have x plus 4 is equal to the square root of 16 is plus minus 4. So our roots are x is equal to positive 4, and this 4 which is on the left side, on the right side it will be negative 4. So we have these two roots. What? X is equal to 4, positive 4 and minus negative 4, answer will be 0. The other one will be x is equal to negative 4. Sorry for that. So negative 4 and negative 4. So x is equal to negative 8. So this is the way of solving with complicated quadratic equations using completing the square. So let's also try one more question. For example, we try the C. So in case of C, what can we do? Let's have a look here. So in case of 2C, we have 5x square plus 20x. So method will be again the same. We have a 5 as a common factor. So 5 will be here. We left with x square plus 4x. So you can now, I'm sure, convert this expression, which is x square plus 4x, into square. So I can see that the 2D could be a bit complicated. So let's have a look. We have 2x square minus 5x. Now, here in these both terms, we have not a common factor other than x, that what we don't want to take out. So, for example, if we say that we have this 2 as a common factor, then our answer will be x square, because 2 is out, minus this 5 has no 2 factor, so we can write it as a 5 divided by 2 times x, and we have this form where this x, meaning this first term, is actually in the form of a square. It is the square of x. So now we can convert it into a complete square in the following way. Here we have a x, we have a x, then other than x will be divided by 2. So then we have a x, negative sign, half of 5 over 2 will be 5 over 4, and its square. To compensate, we would have a negative 5 over 4 and its square. Now, let's convert this expression into equation. Once again, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. So now we have this negative term. So first of all, we have a little mistake. So this bracket must be over here, because this 2 is multiplying the both factors, because this is everything is inside the bracket. Now let's open these brackets. 2 times x minus 5 over 4 square minus 2 times 5 over 4 and its square is equal to 0. This negative term we can move to the right side and we can solve here. 2 into x minus 5 over 4 x square is equal to 2 times 25 divided by 16. So now this 2 can be gone with this 2, because if we divide the whole equation by 2, then both 2 will go away. So now here we left with x minus 5 over 4 by taking the square root is equal to plus minus 5 over 4. Now x is equal to positive 5 over 4, positive 5 over 4, because this is negative 5 over 4, 5 over 4. So the second root will be x is equal to positive, this time negative 5 over 4, then positive 5 over 4. Of course, this one is 0, x is equal to 0, and this one is 10 over 8. So this is 5 over 2. So we left with 5 over 2, that is the x. So the two roots, x is equal to 5 over 2 and x is equal to 2. So now I'm quite much confident that if you follow these all instructions, then you can very easily solve quadratic equations using completing the square. So here I show you these this exercise. So try to solve this exercise. If you will have any complication or difficulty, then just comment in the comment section of this video. So I would also suggest you to solve this equation as well. So where in fact you can try completing the square or the quadratic formula. In our next lesson, we will try to solve quadratic equations using factorization, which is the most easy method. Thank you very much for listening. and do not forget to support your channel. Thank you very much.